I'm Dr. Romel Engrutas, Supervising Science Research Specialist of the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS. Today, I'm going to present to you the evolution of the Filipino home. The learning objectives of these lectures are to understand the evolution of houses in the Philippines. Number 2, to know the basic guide principle in building a house and to evaluate different housing materials. There's a saying by Xu Yiyao, "The old house is like a book. Enter and read it, and you will find yesterday, today, and tomorrow written on the page." The evolution of the Filipino home starts when our ancestors lived in caves and rock shelters, then an economically easy-to-build lean-to houses, then followed by the nipa hut, bahay kubo, and followed by the bahay na bato, which was influenced by the Spaniards, and the bungalow introduced by the Americans, and followed by the apartment, townhouse, and finally, the condominium. Ang mga kabahayan natin sa ngayon ay hinuhubog ng iba't ibang aspeto ng geography, climate, history, culture, economics, housing trends, design, and technology. For the caves and rock shelters, it was used by the ancestors who moved from one place to another, depending on the reason. Ang pinakaunang katibayan ng tao sa Pilipinas, ang nakuhang pirasong bungo at panga ng 3 tao na tinatawag na tao ng tabon. Ang mga bungo ay natuklasan sa mga yungib ng tabon sa pulo ng Palawan. Ang lean-to houses naman ay pre-colonial influence. It was made of twigs and leaves supported with 3 branches. It was mostly used as shades against the sun. It was also designed to be temporary shelters. So pwede itong buhatin sa isang lugar papunta sa kabilang lugar. Ang nipa hut or bahay kubo is a pre-colonial and colonial period. The materials are largely made of nipa and bamboo with thatch roofing bamboo windows. The bahay kubo is distinct because the floor is elevated from the ground like stilt houses which can be carried from one town to another. The bahay kubo has a tall and steeply pitched roof ending in long eaves. It has a silong to create a buffer area for rising waters during floods and to prevent pests such as rats from getting up to the living area. Kaya noon pa man ay handa na ang ating mga kabahayan sa mga pagbaha. Oftentimes, the silong is used for storage, sometimes for raising farm animals. The walls or dingding of a bahay kubo is designed for air ventilation. Gawa kasi sa bamboo, so the walls tend to let some coolness flow naturally through them during hot times and keep warm during the cold, wet season. The bahay kubo has a large window to let in more air and naturally light. They are designed as large awning windows, held open by a wooden rod. A bahay kubo has a wooden stairs na sinusunod ang mga pamahiin ng mga Pinoy na oro, plata, mata. So kahit pa man ngayon na kahit konkreto na ang mga kabahayan natin ay sinusunod pa rin yung bilang na 3 sa paggagawa ng hagdan. Ang mga kagamitan natin sa loob ng bahay kubo noon ay matatagpuan ng merong diyang plancha na diuling kasi wala pa namang kuryente noong panahon na yun. Meron tinatawag na tapayan para malamig ang inuming tubig at gasera na nagsisilbing ilaw sa gabi. Kadalasan meron niyang mga nakaimbak na mga gas-gas para dun sa gasera. Ang bahay kubo ay W3 type na structure dahil sa gawang kawayan. Typical sa bahay kubo ang merong hiwalay na struktura para sa palikuran. Ang bahay kubo na gawa sa purong kahoy or good lumber ay maikukonsidera na W1 type na structure. Ang kahoy ay pinaka-common na materyales sa Pilipinas. So wood is flexible, durable, and easy to source locally. Ang kagandahan sa bahay na gawa sa kahoy ay ang kanyang kulay ay pwedeng mag-adapt sa kapaligiran, lalo na kung mapuno ang lugar. Nagbibigay din ito ng maaliwalas at kaaya-ayang impresyon sa isang bahay. Ang mga samples ng bahay kubo, ito ay picture ng wooden house W1 na bahay kubo noong 1945. Ang bahay kubo na gawa sa bamboo, typical noong panahon ang merong karetela sa kabahayan. Ginagamit ito para sa pagdadala ng mga panindang gulay or ani para ibenta sa sentro o town proper. Ginagamit din ang karetela sa pagdadala ng mga napamili pabalik sa kanilang tahanan. Typical din sa kabahayan noon ang pagkakaroon ng mga tanim, no? Kaya noon pa man meron na tayong mga plantita o plantito. Lalo na ang mga pananim na bugumbilya, gumamela, or orchids. Medyo mahal. Ang bahay kubo is a symbol of the Filipino. Kaya naman ginagamit din ito as background sa mga pelikula. Example makikita dito ay pelikula na nagkaroon ng harana or hinaharana yung dilag. No? Ang bahay kubo sa Abukay, Bataan, noong 1930, na kung saan makikita ang pagbisita ng mga Amerikano at ang mga nasa bahay ay nakadungaw lang sa bintana habang nakikipagkwentuhan. Stone house or bahay na bato. The arrival of the Spaniards in 1571 brought in European colonial architecture to the Philippines. Gumagamit sila ng mga bato bilang pundasyon ng bahay at masonry stone or bricks bilang wall sa first floor at kahoy naman sa pangalawang palapag. Ang bubong ay gawa sa tile at ang mga bintana ay gawa sa kapis shell. Bahay na bato is also a symbol of status at the time and used by local middle class and government officials. Spanish era, 16th to 7th century, bahay na bato is influenced by European style. Dinala yan sa atin dito ng mga Spaniards. Designed up to 3 to 4 stories in height, entirely built of stone, a load-bearing stone masonry walls with overhanging stone balconies, stone arcades and heavy tile roof, mga 3 layers yan. But the 3 to 4 stories European design na bahay na bato was not appropriate to the Philippine setting. Makikita yan ng paglindol noong 1645 with a magnitude 7.9, triggered a rethinking of urban architecture and civil engineering. A bahay na bato, redesigned, was developed in second half of 17th century. A bahay kubo that exists today developed from native rural hut on stilts or bahay kubo concept. An updated version of the traditional bahay kubo in 17th century developed in a sturdier and elaborative urban version. So, Spanish introduced stone architecture. Samples of the bahay na bato. So, yung una is the masonry and wood combination structure or MWS type. And a concrete wood combination structure, which is CWS. So here, homes along the residential street in Manila, concrete and wood structure, and yung bahay na bato used as background in a photo shoot. So nandito pa yung iconic jeepney. Meron tayong mga strengthened masonry called reinforced masonry or RM1. So, ang example niyan ay yung sa mga vegan houses. Bungalow is from the American colonial period, a low-rise structure with a pitch roof and horizontal in shape. Typically with metal roofing, galvanized iron, yung GI, cemented walls and has its own gate for security. It may come with a yard, a garden, and a parking space. The bungalow is the most common type of house in the Philippines. The design is also perfect for elderly because it is small, easy to maintain, and do not have flights of stairs. It comes in different forms in different provinces across the country. So ganito ang mga common na bungalow dito sa Pilipinas. The basic elements of a bungalow are gable roof or agwas. Meron dyan medya agwas, quattro agwas, no? Mga high-end subdivision. Truss or yung ginagamit sa bubong or kilo. Beam or biga. Column or poste. Gutter, alulod or kanal. Balustre, barandillas. Floor joints, concrete slab, at yung wall ay yung tinatawag na concrete hollow blocks. Sample of bungalow, if it's a wooden house, is W1. A wood is perfect for country living. It gives you an image of growing your own garden in a gorgeous setting. Sample of a bungalow for a wooden W1 and W2. No? So, ito marami pa rin sa probinsya yung ganito, no? Wooden house, 2-story. At yung mga elevated wooden house natin, W1. Influence ng Americans ay yung mga rustic home, W1, or cozy bungalow house. Kapag po naging W2 ang wooden house, the floor area is larger than 465 square meters. Or ginamit siya for commercial or wooden structure. Sample of bungalow, reinforced concrete houses. So, meron po tayong mga single story. Common po yan sa mga subdivisions, iba't ibang design, iba't ibang kulay. No? Single story C1L. Meron din po tayong tinatawag na 2-story C1L. Ibig sabihin po ng L ay low-rise or 1 to 2 stories. Meron din po tayong 3-story, which is already C1M. Sample of housing development, residential. No? Iba't ibang uri po yan. R1, open market housing, single detached. Ang total land area po niyan ay 72 square meters at yung allowable maximum building footprints ay 27.5 square meters. Meron po tayong tinatawag na PD number 957 or R1 open market housing, single detached. Ang allowable maximum building footprint ay 33 square meters. At meron po tayong tinatawag na Presidential Decree 1096 or the National Building Code of the Philippines for residential. Ang allowable maximum building footprint po ay 150 square meters. Kaya noon, marami pa rin tayong makikita na mga malalaking lote dito sa Kamaynilaan. So, row house, no column po yan. Concrete hollow blocks lang ang ginamit. So, it's either interlocking at may area na 25.40 square meters. Single detached, no column and beams, 54 to 70 square meters. Meron pong single detached din na 2-story. At row house. So, bungalow for high-end subdivisions and executive villages for private developers. Ito po yung mga high-end natin. A reinforced concrete C1M, 2-story house for subdivision and executive subdivisions. Meron po tayong mga high-end talaga at mga C1 houses. Yan po yung sa Forbes Park, Urdaneta Village, Dasmariñas Village, Ayala Alabang, Corinthian Garden, at Valle Verde, Pasig. So, ganyan po kalalaki. Ang presyo po niyan, isang bahay lang ay sa Forbes Park, 875 million. So, meron tayong bungalow, economical materials, mass housing by the National Housing Authority. No? Sinasabi po dyan na it is appropriate both the technical and economical terms to accept 37.16 square meter as the minimum floor area requirement for urban poor as it creates win-win situation. So dito nagkaroon po ng mga, yung sa bahay kalinga, no, single detached, 20 to 30 square meters. Meron ding ang mga LGU pabahay, medium rise, condominium, 12 to 18 square meters. Ang type po niyan ay C1M. No? At yung mga mass housing, it's either private developer, CHB Houses. Meron po tayong bungalow for steel materials. Tinatawag po natin itong S1 or steel moment frames. Nowadays, steel is becoming cheaper comparable to the reinforced concrete, and an increasing number of houses uses steel. Apartment house or townhouses are modern period. It uses a mixture of modern materials such as glass, steel, and reinforcement. Heights ranging from low to rise structures, many have commercial space or parking at the ground floor. Constructed mostly in cities but also found in towns and rural areas. These have been coined as a starter homes for new families because of the general cost of building and maintenance. Condominium developed in a contemporary period. It is more classy than apartments, heights ranging from mid to high to super high structures. It has shared amenities such as swimming pool, parking, gym, lobby, and garden. Condominiums have taken over cities not only in the Philippines. It offers utmost convenience to residents, seeing as they will have direct access to gyms and recreational areas. Urban and rural developments must follow the Comprehensive Land Use Planning, or CLUP. Upper slopes are for production of forest, tree farms, and ecotourism. Mid slopes are for upland agriculture, orchards, tree farms. Lower slopes are for settlements such as housing and support land uses. So dito talaga tayo tinatayo yung mga subdivisions and mga kabahayan. Municipal water areas are for fisheries, ecotourism, sustainable land reclamation. Design of Filipino homes follow the National Structural Code of the Philippines, or the NSCP. So we need to database our houses for pre-1972. No, there was no existing code yet for the country. In 1972, the first code was developed in 1970s. Yan yung after the Kasiguran earthquake of 1968, they developed this code as an answer to the need of setting the requirements for construction. And it lasted for up to 1992. Then there's an earthquake in July 16, 1990, wherein they prompt the changes in ductility requirements for the previous code. So we have this era of post-1992. Finally, for the summary, caves, rock shelters, and lean-to houses are pre-colonial houses. Bahay Kubo, a symbol of true Filipino, represents the Filipino value of bayanihan, which refers to a spirit of communal unity or effort to achieve an objective. The bahay na bato is Spanish colonial influence. The bungalow is from American colonial period. Apartment townhouse is already from the modern period, sometimes used as a starter home. Finally, condominium is for a contemporary period, mostly found in cities and nearby business centers. You may access and contact PHIVOX at www.phivox.dost.gov.ph. Thank you.